Hey, what is good, gamers? Squirrely here. Thank you for joining me as always. Today's going to be a fun video, I think, because TF2 is a very unique game and so many other things pull from TF2, and we kind of have our own little world, whether it's memes or classes or language or just pretty much anything. A lot of other games have copied us, and TF2 Trading especially is so old and it's been around for so long. I think it's evolved its own little vocabulary. I know when I was new to TF2 and I just started getting into trading, you would see a post for something that was like LTS, Beams TC, Pure Only, OBO, Mixed Overpay, Downgrades, no third gens or dupes, send trade offer. And you're like, what are you talking about? So I eventually learned as I traded for a while what these terms mean, the lingo, the vocabulary that people use. And I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of them actually that you just kind of take for granted when you've been around for a long time. So if you're newer to trading, you might learn something new from this list. I'm going to go rapid fire through a ton of different words and terms and the vocabulary that you will see quite often in trading. This can obviously apply to other games outside of TF2, but I'm going to focus on TF2. And if you're a really experienced trader, most of these you're going to know. There might be a couple that are new to you, and definitely if you have any to add that I didn't cover in my list, feel free to add them down below in the comments. I would love to hear more because it's just cool to just map these out. So I thought that would be a fun little experiment to list out all the different vocabulary and terms you see in TF2 because each one tells its own little story of why it's there and the purpose that it serves. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to try to go through these rapid fire as fast as I can, but I also want to give a real world example so they're easier to remember and they might help you make a little bit more sense. But first off, we have pure, and simply pure means keys. That's it. So someone says, selling my hat, pure only, they're talking about I just want keys, nothing else. So sometimes people ask for cash. They usually separate pure and cash. They're two different things. So usually when people are talking about pure, they're just talking about keys. That's all they want. No other items. They don't want you to send them an offer for strange rocket launcher for their item. They want just keys. And pure could also technically be metal if it's something cheaper, but pure means keys. Next on the list is sweets. So sweets just means little cheaper items that you add to a trade to kind of sweeten up the deal. So it could be cheaper things. Someone say, hey, can you add 2 keys and sweets? Meaning just go through your backpack, go through your items, see what you can add to kind of add up to 2 keys. It could be pretty much anything unless they give you specifics, but something that's, easy to value, not super ambiguous, something that's just cheap. It could be metal, MVM parts, it could be craft hat, it could be whatever, just to kind of sweeten up the deal, meaning they like your deal, they just want a little bit of sweets on top of it to make them feel more comfortable. So that is sweets. Duped and clean. Now it sounds like exactly what they are. So duped meaning there's a duplicate of your hat that Valve made. So the only way that I know at least that there are dupes is that Valve duplicated your hat, meaning there's one that you have and there's another one out there, and you can check this if you look up the item history on bp.tf. It'll tell you if it's been duplicated or not. Clean just means it's clean. It's never been duplicated. There's only one of that hat, and you can check the history on it, the level, whatever you want to do. But clean, they're just easier to sell. People always want clean, especially for the more expensive hats, the more expensive and rare items. They're always going to want clean. They're just way easier to deal with. History, so short history, long history, good history, bad history, people will call it different things. They're basically talking about the number of people, the number of owners that are on the history of an item. So same thing as clean and duped. If you have a really high tier item like a golden pan or a god tier hat or cosmetic, whatever, the shorter the history, the better. It just gives people better kind of feeling of a hat. If you have a hat with 20, 30, 40, 50 owners, it just feels kind of dirty and like everyone's had it and it's not very high in demand and people are always selling it. But if it's something with 2, 3, 4, 5 owners, whatever, you would call that a short history, and it's just easier to sell. So if you're going to go big on something, you want to get it clean, you want to get on a short history, it's just easier to sell, and you can usually ask for a little bit more as well. BP is just short for backpack. So people will say, look through my BP or buying BP, selling BP. They're just talking about their backpack. Also in game, there are typically commands in trade servers. So you can do exclamation mark or slash BP to look in someone's backpack or type in their name. BP is just backpack. That's all they're talking about. QS is just short for quick sell, and quick sell means someone is trying to discount something enough that they can sell it quickly. Usually it's around 30%. Sometimes if it's a really expensive item or a high tier item, it might be only like 10 or 15%. But usually QS, Q selling, something like that with the Q and the S, that means they're quick selling. It's on a big discount. They're trying to fire sell it quickly and get it out there. And it's just a shorter way to write the word instead of taking up a bunch of space. BO or B/O, it just means buyout, and that's just the price they're looking for. So if someone is saying that they're looking for mix and blah 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 blah, a bunch of different things, but if they say BO 20 keys or B/O, that's their price that they will sell it for right away if you can meet that price. OBO is just short for or best offer. You'll see this in real life sales as well, Craigslist and online and whatever. They're basically usually will say, here's the price I want to sell it for. I will also consider other offers, meaning or best offer. Low ball or low baller. Now, this is just a term that applies to any kind of sales. You could be a low baller or make a low ball offer on something. It could be on a car, a house, whatever kind of trade deal. Low ball just means you're making an offer that's really low, under what you think it's worth. That way you can hopefully get a good deal and get lucky, but usually it could be so low that it's almost insulting. But a low ball offer is just a really, really low offer. So if someone's asking for 50 keys and you ask for, would you sell it for 25 or 30? Probably going to be considered a low ball offer, but hey, at least it's an offer. Abbreviating the actual name of the hat or cosmetic and the unusual effects can also be very helpful, especially if you don't have a whole lot of room and you have a lot of things for sale. Just makes it easier to read and to get more in there. So TC could be Team Captain, Rack would be Exquisite Rack, Crones for Crones Zone, KE for Kill Exclusive, VF for Viewfinder, Buto for Kabuto, and so on. There's a whole bunch of them. Unusual effects, this works well also. So if you see beams, short for sunbeams, Bflames, like burning flames, GBH, green black hole, Ofire, orbiting fire, PE, GE, purple energy, green energy, DBD, disco beatdown, and a whole bunch of them that you can think of, I'm sure. You can also use this when you're talking about the wear of an item. So FT would be field tested, FN would be factory new, WW is not Weight Watchers, it's well worn, battle scarred would be BS, and so on. So it's a quick, easy way to tell people the actual wear on the item. Downgrades and upgrades. This basically means if they have, say, an expensive hat, 200 key hat, and they'll say they will consider downgrades, it means they will consider smaller, cheaper items that add up to their item. Same with upgrades. If someone says, I'm looking to add to upgrades or will consider adding to upgrade, meaning they will add items of theirs to upgrade to a more expensive item. Generation of effects can also be abbreviated. So if you talk about first gens, second gens, third gens, or you could be talking about Smissmas effects, or you can add the year like 2012, 2013, Scream Fortress effects, or Halloween effects. This is a quick and easy way to tell people what you want or what you don't want without having to list all the unusuals, and you can easily look it up of what actual effects are part of these different generations. Aussy is probably the shortest way to say Australian and the most popular. You will sometimes see these for other weapons. For bot killers, you might see B killer. You don't see that very often. Or SF could be strange festive something as well. But Aussy, Australian is a very common one. Mixed overpay is often used together, although it does mean two different things. Mixed just means they will consider offers that are a bunch of different items. So if it's not pure, they will consider mixed, meaning that it could be you offer them, some paint, some strange weapons, different cosmetics, and you kind of put them all together to add up. Overpay just means you're looking to overpay with other items to basically sweeten up the deal. So if they're looking for 100 keys, but they will consider overpay or mixed overpay, you can give them an offer. Maybe it's 110 keys in items. That way it looks a little bit better, and you're not just doing a one-for-one pure only or a hat that's the exact same price. So mixed overpay, it's very common. You're offering a bunch of different items to kind of technically overpay the price that they're looking for and still make it a good deal, hopefully. GPAN is obviously just short for golden pan, but there are some people out there who are even cooler. If you see people looking to buy or sell really, really expensive items, sometimes they'll say, I'm looking for a pan. That means they're too cool to write out golden or GPAN. They're just looking for a pan, but they're talking about the golden pan. MISC is just short for miscellaneous, meaning that it's a hat or a cosmetic that has no equip region. So this is probably the most expensive items out there, especially in unusual form, because you can wear 3 of them. So like for myself, I collect Exquisite Rack. That's a MISC for the soldier. It could be the Villain's Veil for sniper, Pencil Pusher for engineer. There's all class 1s such as the Viewfinder. So this is miscellaneous hat, no equip region is a MISC. This little symbol here with the arrows going back and forth is just the universal symbol for trade or trade offer. So this will usually happen with bots, and they'll say like the trade offer picture, the icon, 24/7, fast accept, instant accept, something like that. They're basically saying, I'm a bot, I'm ready to trade, do trade offers, I will accept right away. Buds, bills, and maxes. These are just shortened terms for earbuds, bills hats, and max's head. So max or severed head. These are items that have a certain amount of worth and value in keys, and so you don't see these as much anymore. Obviously, earbuds have crashed, and we don't really use those as a currency. We value everything in keys, but you could technically ask for 2 bills hats, 2 max's heads, or 10 earbuds or whatever, and just call them that because that's telling you how much they're worth in keys. Rep just stands for reputation. So this is something that's really important. I'm considering making a video on reputation and how to build good reputation, something you definitely need if you're doing cash trades and you're looking for really good deals. But rep is just short for reputation, and it's important to have a good rep with TF2 Trading because it's a big world, but it's also kind of a small world. So if you have a bad reputation, you traded with scammers or done scammy things, you're going to get a bad rep, and then it's going to be hard to trade and do anything. MM is just short for middleman, so you don't see this a whole lot anymore, but if you're doing a big cash trade or you're doing spy crabbing or something, a lot of times you would get a trusted middleman. Steam Rep used to use middlemans a lot more for cash trades. I don't know if people really do that anymore. I haven't done it myself in a very, very long time, but MM just means middleman, a trusted person who's helping out both parties for a transaction. Mp.tf, bp.tf, SCM. These are all just abbreviations for areas where you can sell things. So Mp.tf is marketplace.tf, bp.tf is backpack.tf, and SCM is just short for Steam Community Market. These are all just places where you can buy and sell and trade different goods, but usually people are talking about marketplace or Steam Community Market, they're talking about money, they're talking about cash, and if you're talking about something that's on the backpack.tf, it's usually something in classifieds or looking for keys or mixed items, something like that. Last but not least, one of my favorites, because I think it's funny whenever you see this one come up, is NFS, meaning not for sale, or it could mean never for sale. I've seen both, but I like this one. I think it's funny because whenever you see someone ask, hey, I really like your hat, or how much for your pan, or whatever it is, someone says NFS, like back off, dude, I'm not selling it, I'm not taking offers, don't even ask. It's kind of a funny situation, like, oh, okay, sorry, dude, I'm just asking, but NFS, not for sale. Well, whew, we got through it. That is a lot of terms. There's plenty more that I actually cut out, and I'm sure there's some that you can think of adding as well. So down below in the comments, let me know if there's any terms that you see in trading or that you would like to add to trading that either funny or useful. And definitely, if there's anything that you have that's NFS, not for sale, share it down below. I think it's something to think about because we all have our price. Eventually, if someone pays enough for something, I'm sure you would sell it, but it's fun to think about. So, all right, you guys, thank you for joining me as always. Have a great one. I will link you to my Steam group down below so you never miss a new video or a giveaway. And thank you so much for the support. If you like my videos, this is YouTube. You know how to support me. We're climbing that subscriber mountain, and it's been a lot of fun making stuff for you guys. So have a good one. Don't forget to say hi and what's up if you run into me in game on the West Coast casual servers. And yeah, until the next video. Peace.